Pathaan, or Pathaan. They pronounce it Pathaan in the movie, so I'm gonna go with that. Is it actually worth watching? Now, like every other white dude in North America, the first Indian movie I ever saw was RRR a couple months back, and I really enjoyed it, and I'm like, I gotta watch more Indian movies. Pathaan was next on the list. Now, if you guys don't know this, I actually live in a suburb of Vancouver with a giant Indian population, and the local movie theater actually plays quite a few Indian movies, and I'm like, well, here's my opportunity. I gotta watch one here. Saw the poster, saw the trailer for Pathaan, and I'm like, that's the one. So I bought my ticket, went in, I was the only white guy in the theater, and now I'm here to give you my thoughts. Hey guys, my name is Brandon, aka the BrandoCritic. Thank you guys so much for being here today. I really do appreciate it. I was able to see Pathaan in theaters, and I'm here to give you my honest, no BS, non-spoiler review for you today and tell you if it's actually worth watching. Make sure you guys stick around to the end of the video so you guys know my rating of the film, or else you might be going to a film that might not be right for you. And someone here wants to say hello. Meet Roger. Mwah. But if you guys have seen Pathaan, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section down below. And I just have to preface by saying that this is my second Indian movie. I don't speak Hindi or Telugu or any other Indian language, so if I mispronounce some names, I apologize. It's not my intention. I just saw an Indian movie and I want to give you my thoughts. So, let's begin. So Pathaan is directed by Siddharth Anand, who has done War and Bang Bang. And it stars Shah Rukh Khan, Deepika Padukone. If you guys remember from the Oscars, she was the woman who introduced Natu Natu. And John Abraham. And the movie is about an exiled RAW agent who teams up with an ISI agent to take down another former RAW agent because they have an evil plan against the mother country, India. So what are my thoughts on this movie? Well, I am so glad I gave a chance to Pathaan because I had so much fun in the theater. It was an absolute blast. I cannot stop raving about this movie. And the main reason why is because I just loved the tone. And I knew that I was gonna love the tone as soon as we introduced Pathaan, right? So, minor spoiler of how he's introduced. But you see him, he's kind of being interrogated. He's kind of like behind a chair like this, and you see his head down like that. And then the camera goes into a close-up and he goes, boom. And then his hair starts to flow back, and I'm going, okay. People who have only watched films like Hollywood films or movies made in North America will see that and think that it's probably pretty cheesy, corny, over the top, ridiculous, all those things, right? And I know people like that. I even showed my girlfriend, sorry babe, gotta throw you under the bus with this one. I showed her some clips of the movie and the music video, and she's like, nah, that doesn't look like it's for me. It just seems like it's gonna be too campy. And I understand why Western audiences would think that. But as soon as I saw that, I go, okay. Right on, bring it on, bring it on. And I'm so glad that this movie did. Because I knew right then that this movie was going to be just a whirlwind of fun and excitement. It reminded me a lot of Fast and Furious and Mission Impossible, right? Spies, action, chases, high-octane thrills, fights, sexy actors. I mean, the dudes in this movie are just shredded ripped. 8 packs, huge muscles, the works. And the women are just like these goddesses. But on top of that, this movie is funny. This movie has a lot of comedy in it, and it has some stakes. It finds that perfect balance. And I was thinking during this movie, if movies really found this perfect balance like this and they're being made in India, I gotta watch more of these. So if you guys love Indian cinema, let me know your favorite action films down in the comment section down below. Again, this is like brand new to me. I'd love to see more. Now, I will admit that for Western audiences seeing this movie, they might think that the CGI and the action set pieces might look a little cheap, might look a bit over the top, or they might not be up to snuff with the Marvels and the Star Warses. And sure, one scene did remind me of the CGI in Die Another Day. But you know what? I gotta be honest, that didn't bother me at all, and I don't actually think it's a problem in this movie whatsoever. Because the creativeness of this action is what makes it enjoyable. You see a fight between Pathaan and our villain Jim, the leader of the Outfit X in Dubai, which reminded me a lot of Captain America: The Winter Soldier. There's a heist in Moscow, which reminded me of Ocean's 11 and Mission Impossible. There's a prison break fight on a train, which reminded me of 007, especially Spectre and Skyfall. There's a snowmobile chase down a mountain and on some ice, which reminded me a lot of Inception, some 007 movies like On Her Majesty's Secret Service, Die Another Day as well, and maybe a little bit of True Lies in there, some Iron Man flying-like sequences, and the climax is just amazing. It reminded me of Mission Impossible Fallout. Now, the stunts in Fallout, I mean, you can't beat that, but the stakes and the tension in the story, mixed with the action, it reminded me a lot of it. And the locations are the same too, or at least similar. But my point is that this movie has just so much action in it. Like, this movie really does fit the bill and the mold of being action-packed. But it's creative, and it's really exciting to see, and it's supported with good characters and a good story. Like, this movie has everything. And by the way, guys, if you guys are liking this video so far, hit the like button. I'd really appreciate it. But speaking about those characters, Shah Rukh Khan is just awesome. Like, I fell in love with this guy. He is so charismatic. He is so witty, so funny, so charming, so likable. He is unbelievably badass. I felt like I was watching Rambo on screen, but he was also very heroic. You knew that he was on your side. Like the quintessential perfect action hero. And the dude is in his late 50s and he is just like the best shape I've ever seen a human being. Like, oh my God. Then there's Deepika Padukone, which again, she is gorgeous as well, but she was really fantastic in this movie also. Great chemistry between the two. She was wonderful. She's the perfect balance between being smart, strong, courageous, vulnerable, sexy, and still being feminine. I really did love her character. She was a true action star, and she stole a lot of scenes in this movie. And little side note here, when she was introduced, it turned into a music video. And I was watching the movie and I kind of forgot that I was watching an Indian movie. I was just involved in the story and I was really enjoying it. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. Indian movies have a lot of musical numbers. At least the ones I've learned about in film school. But there's a musical number in the middle of the movie and at the end in the credits. Just a lot of fun. And sure, from the Western point of view, I'm thinking to myself, well, you don't really need a musical number in a movie like this. Like the story doesn't really warrant it, but who cares? They're fun, they're energetic, and it really does match the vibe of the tone of the movie. So screw it, bring it on. But the most important character in a movie like this, I would argue, is the villain. And this movie really nails that part down. Jim, played by John Abraham, was fantastic. Just like Darth Vader, he has a little bit of a sound motif every single time he's on screen. It works, man. It totally fits the vibe and the tone of this movie. It is just right on the money with that one. Fantastic. He was menacing, tough, scary, intimidating, and really kicked ass in the action sequences. And he has the three essentials to any movie villain. And I've talked about this in a couple other videos, but I want to bring it up again here. And this is what I really brought with me from film school. Number one, they genuinely believe that they are the good guy. And while sure, this character is doing terrible things, but once you understand his backstory and his motivation, you understand why he would do these things. And he thinks that he's the one who deserves all of this stuff. He was the one who is wrong. He needs to do this to become the hero. Number two is that they got to be more powerful than our hero, because in this movie he beats Pathaan quite a few times. Like, he kicks his ass, and I'm thinking to myself, how in the world will we be able to defeat him? And notice I said we, because Pathaan is so likable that we just connect with him and we feel like we're going on this journey with him. So it's a collective effort between the hero and the audience to defeat this villain, because he's gonna need all the help he can get. He was a genuine threat in this movie. And number three, he is closely tied in relation to the main character. Because like I said earlier, they are both trained RAW agents, or are they RAW agents? I could be wrong, let me know. But basically on the outside, they're the same person. Got the same training, same upbringing, in terms of ranks in the organization, same skill set. And on top of that, he just has swagger. Like, he is a prick. You really hate him in the movie. You really want Pathaan to really just screw this guy over. So the characters were strong, but so was the story. It was engaging, it was compelling, it was really tightly written. I mean, there are setups and payoffs, and like that stuff just really tickles my fancy. Like, I love seeing that in movies. There are many twists which I didn't see coming, but when they did come, I go, oh, of course, I should have seen that coming. It was set up earlier. Paid off later in a great twist that feels earned. Feels earned. And the climax, like I said earlier, man, it was tense. I was honestly like holding the sides of my chair and I'm going, man, will we actually get a victory in this movie? It was one of those like down to the wire endings, which are very, very common in movies, especially action thrillers, but my God, this movie just pulled it off so well. And that's the thing. This movie is a giant celebration of big popcorn cinema. It even has some emotional moments as well, which again might be cheesy to the certain North American audience member, but it just fits this over-the-top celebratory tone of big action adventure, bright colors, over-the-top action, strong characters, tightly written script. I'm just so happy that I saw this movie, and I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm giving Pathaan a 5 out of 5. Yeah, I loved it, and I'm so happy that I did. And it just shows you that sometimes when you step outside your comfort zone, like, I'll be honest, this is my second Indian movie ever. I don't speak the language at all. Never even been to India myself, never even been to Asia before. I gave this movie a chance and I loved it. I genuinely loved it. I can't stop thinking about this movie. It was just so much fun. If all Indian movies are this fun, hey, count me in. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Hit like and subscribe if you want to see more videos just like this. And if you want to really support the channel, then come join my Patreon. The link is down below in the description. We watch movies together every single month. We have monthly video calls. You guys get to see content early, and I give you guys movies every single month. So if that interests you, then click the link down in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.